Today, down in the comments, I want to hear what your favorite shot-on-video horror movies are. Hello, I'm Adam Caesar. I am the author of Video Night, Tribesman, Summer Job, Exponential, First When You Expect, and a ton of other books you can go read right now. And I'm also the author of Clown in a Cornfield, which comes out very soon, Harper Teen. You can pre-order that now, and if you're watching this video in a couple weeks, you can just order it and they'll send a hardcover right to your door. Please go do that. And this is Project Black T-Shirt, the channel where we take a new or a reissue horror movie and pair it with a horror book that you will enjoy if you like that movie. Be sure to like and subscribe if you like what you see, and I've got a ton of other videos you can go check out on my channel. Today we are talking 90s and early 2000s nostalgia because we are talking about Ozone, the shot-on-video feature from legendary Ohio-based indie filmmaker, the director of The Dead Next Door, J.R. Bookwalter. And this is the new Blu-ray 2-disc signature edition. It also comes in a regular 1-disc edition, but I recommend the special one. This is from MakeFlix. They say they do manufactured on-demand discs, but the quality of this is very high. They're kind of changing the perception around manufactured on-demand MOD. And I'm gonna flip this cover around for a second because I love the new cover, but I have kind of the nostalgia I have stems from the old cover. Voila, the magic of editing, isn't that incredible? So this is a reversible cover, but Ozone is a film I first saw early days of the internet, or somewhat pre-internet, because we were kind of late getting the internet. In my house growing up, I'd read Fangoria magazine, and this was a movie, one of many movies where they took out kind of a full-page ad and were like, oh, brand new DVD reissue. I think it might have even been VHS at the same time. Brand new reissue of Ozone, the cult classic. You got to check it out. This is one of those movies that I picked up based on those ads. I think I might have even mailed away for it. This is a shot-on-video movie. Bookwalter's first film. The Dead Next Door is a wonderful film. Shot Super 8. Kind of like stealth, secretly produced by Sam Raimi, because Sam Raimi was kind of like a pen pal of Bookwalter's. My understanding of it, I could probably be getting this story wrong, but he'd kind of send him money so he can go out and shoot pieces of The Dead Next Door. And then after The Dead Next Door, he'd gotten into shot-on-video, and he made a bunch of movies where you can hear Bookwalter talk about it on the Ozone disc, where he was kind of getting run down and bummed out that he was making these shot-on-video quickies. And Ozone is the product of, let's go back and make a real film now after we've learned all this stuff with video and shooting S-video and SVHS, and we can make it look good. We can make it look like a legitimate movie that people will be happy that they got at the video store. They don't feel kind of cheated because they rented a VHS and ended up being this kind of no-budget quickie. And Ozone is kind of a no-budget movie, but it wasn't a quickie by any stretch of the imagination. A few $1,000s. A good bit of it going to the musical score. And this is a movie, very, very simple premise. We follow a cop named Eddie Boone. He's played by James Black, kind of a Bookwalter regular up to this point, in his first starring role for Bookwalter, ex-football player. Kind of clearly a star vehicle for him. As he's a detective, right at the beginning of the movie, him and his partner are kind of meeting up with a CI, and things go horribly wrong and the partner goes missing. And Eddie is dosed with this new street drug called Ozone that's kind of got this like cryptic following around it, and we saw it kind of street trash blow up a guy's head in the opening credits. So we know there's something wrong with this drug, and he gets dosed with it. And for the whole rest of the movie, he's trying to kind of find his partner, and there's this slipstream realism of like, is he hallucinating because he was dosed with the ozone? Is this real? Is he finding this weird kind of demonic underbelly of Akron, Ohio, that is making the ozone and putting it out on the streets and turning people into these kind of demonic zombies? It is a hell of a movie. It's not going to be for everyone. I feel like I said that last video, that those movies weren't for everyone. This is another one where watch a trailer. make sure this is the kind of thing that you want to pick up. But as far as shot-on-video originals, this is one of my favorite films. And part of that is nostalgia, but revisiting it on this Blu-ray, I was kind of blown away with how well it holds up. And what's great about Ozone is the pace. It never stops. It never becomes boring. These movies so often had, even if they had a kind of interesting element to them, there used to be kind of long pauses of nothing just to fill out that 90 minutes of tape. But Ozone doesn't have that, and it's hour and 20 minutes, just flies. The transfer on this, you're wondering, like, why is there a Blu-ray of a movie shot on tape? Like, does that matter at all? In the commentary, and there's also like a little liner notes booklet, which is very nice. They talk about how this master was kind of found and reassembled and recolor corrected and stuff like that. It does look better than the movie ever has. Do you necessarily need a Blu-ray? Maybe not, but they really kind of make up for it with the extras. This thing is stacked out of its mind. There's 4 commentaries. 3 are like kind of different points of Bookwalter's like career. Every time they re-released it, he would like do another commentary. He's done a brand new one now. And then another, on the second disc for the original version, there is kind of a more jokey, more fun commentary with podcasters. Doug Tilley's one of them, and both of these, all 4 of these kind of offer different perspectives. And there's an archival making of, kind of retrospective that they did in the early 2000s about the movie. There's the best feature is this 20-minute local TV station where Bookwalter's there, and he's with the another Ohio-based directing duo, the directors of The Killer Nerd and Bride of the Killer Nerd, and they're talking about these movies, and the interviewer is so clearly like befuddled and doesn't really know what to talk with them about because he's like only watched a trailer to one of the movies and doesn't particularly seem interested. But it's a fascinating time capsule. I think that aired in 1993. But this is a fun set and well worth whatever MakeFlix is asking for it. It's really, really good, especially if you have any kind of reverence for this era of filmmaking, this kind of filmmaking. It's a must-get. If you're only passing familiar or you haven't liked the shot-on-video movies you've seen, I would say Ozone's kind of make or break. Like if you don't like Ozone, you probably won't have much of the patience or stomach for similar and lesser shot-on-video films. But I really enjoy Ozone, and so much so that I kind of want to watch more Tempe Video, catch up on the movies that I might have missed or the movies that I might have kind of skipped over when I got them from Blockbuster as a kid and was like, oh, the shot-on-video movie, this one feels like a waste. I kind of want to go back to that now that I have that the patience of being an adult and the somewhat nostalgia for this format. But great disc, really cool release. Highly recommend checking it out. I'll put the links down in the description for that. This week's book recommendation, I have been waiting so long to talk about this book because I got an early copy months ago, and that's kind of the hard thing with getting early copies. You don't want to read them too early. You don't want to start talking about the book and then everyone forgets, and believe me, I know. So I waited till we were a week out from release to talk about The Only Good Indians, a novel by Stephen Graham Jones. This is an incredible month for horror literature, July. There is Mexican Gothic just came out. I just started that. Paul Tremblay's new one comes out as I'm filming this tomorrow, Survivor Song. I cannot wait to read that. But I got the early copy of The Only Good Indians, and I am a Stephen Graham Jones fanboy. Talked about him numerous times on the channel. I think he is one of the best novelists and short story writers who's alive. He is absolutely incredible, maybe one of the best of all time. And this is the book. This is a soft cover arc. I think the hardcover is probably going to be real nice. This is so far the best book of the year, without a doubt, that I've read. It's one of the best books of Jones's career, maybe even the best one. It's unbelievably good. If you buy one book that I've recommended on this channel, I put the links down in the description. You gotta read this. It's unbelievable. This is not I would recommend this to some people and not others. I would recommend this to every person. Hard to talk about because there is a midpoint twist, which is odd, or like even like a third of the way through, there's a huge twist. Basically, it follows five childhood friends who grew up on a reservation, and when they were younger, kind of the eve of Thanksgiving, they is poached the right word? They illegally hunted a herd of elk. So this is like this. It's sort of a slasher. Like the original sin is that they kind of hunted these elk in a place in a way they aren't supposed to, and then everything that happens in the book, we flash forward everything that happens to these guys and the people that they love and their kind of progeny spins out from that. As I said, it's quasi-slasher. It's a quasi-supernatural book. It is funny, empathic, scary as hell. There's the twist scene I'm talking about, like the kind of reveal as to what the hell is going on. It's one of the most insane and grueling sequences I've ever read. I went back because I was like, because it lulls you into like this kind of bucolic, you get caught up in this one character's life and then something big happens, and I like went back a page. I was like, wait, what? Like, it's wild. It's really, really great. It's just a hell of a book. It's crazy that something can be really kind of touching and really scary, but also kind of laugh a minute. Like there's Stephen Graham Jonesian kind of turns of phrase every few paragraphs that are just really funny and poetic and good, but never feels like mannered or feels like over stylized. Just incredibly readable, but still like mind-bogglingly like highbrow, and to the point where it's like, how does someone even wrap their head around writing like this? I'm gushing, but this is a book that deserves it. I'm excited for everyone to read it. I'm excited for people to talk about it in the comments. It's great. It's really, really fantastic. So that's The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones. Best book of the year so far, even though there are a lot of good books left in the year to check out and that I can't wait to read. That's it for me. Buy a book. Pre-order a book. Clive Barker called me an author who knows how to make us afraid. Yeah, that's the good stuff. Go get it. Like, subscribe, Amazon review, all that stuff. And I will see you next week.